Dear students, please note down. These notes are available in the description of video. Please download your notes. In today's lecture, we will discuss cilia and flagella. Note down, all competitive exam students, in today's lecture, which is a topic of cell biology. In this unit, cell biology, we have already discussed some double membrane bound cell organelles like plastids, chloroplast, mitochondria. Some unit membrane, single membrane bound cell organelles like endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi body, vacuoles, lysosomes, and ribosomes, which are without any membrane, no unit membrane, as ribosomes are made up of RNA and proteins. The ribosomes are ribonucleoprotein particles. But these cell organelles, cilia and flagella, these are unit membrane bound, having a single membrane, unit membrane bound cell organelles. These cilia and flagella are fine, hair-like or thread-like elongated structures. These are microscopic, motile structures which are present extracellularly. Means these are present on outer surface of a cell, but these cilia and flagella which originate intracellularly from the cell cytoplasm or protoplasm by these basal bodies or basal granules. Note down, cilia and flagella, these are microscopic, fine, hair or thread-like structures which are present on outer surface of a cell. Means these are present extracellularly but originate intracellularly from these basal bodies or basal granules, and these cilia and flagella which are meant for movements and locomotion, as well as these cell organelles are involved in excretion, circulation, in conduction of gametes. Flagellum, it was discovered by Engelmann, while these cilia, their ultrastructure that was proposed by Manton. Note down each and every point. These cilia are present in all ciliate protozoans. Note down, all ciliate protozoans like Paramecium vorticella. Here, in case of these protozoan protists, these are involved in movements and locomotion, as well as in case of Paramecium vorticella, the beating of cilia that maintains nutritive cum respiratory water current, and that water current brings food and molecular oxygen. As well as cilia are present in flame cells of flatworms. Note down, flame cells, solenocytes, protonephridia of flatworms, platyhelminthes, like fasciola. In these flatworms, the beating of cilia in these flame cells that involved in excretion that removes waste product, and the waste product in case of liver fluke, fasciola, flatworms, that is ammonia. It means the beating of cilia maintains removal of excretory product like ammonia. Some larval forms, it means cilia also present in some larval forms like trochophore larva of phylum Annelida, Nares, as well as the larva, Bipinnaria larva of starfish, Astraeus, a kynodermate. That larva which possesses cilia, and the movements of cilia helps in the dispersal of larva from one form to another, from one place to another. As well as cilia are present in the epithelial lining of this windpipe, respiratory tract, trachea. In our trachea, in our respiratory system, the lining of cilia, that epithelium which possesses cilia, involves in the removal of foreign bodies, dust particle. Renal tubule of nephron, it means in case of our excretory system, in uriniferous tubule of nephron, the presence of cilia that removes waste products. In reproductive tract, female reproductive tract, in fallopian tube, oviduct, here the beating of cilia maintains conduction of ova. Flagella are present in all flagellate protozoans. Note down, flagellate protozoans like Euglena. Here, the beating of these flagella in these protozoan protist involves in movements and locomotion. In case of collar cells, in case of conocytes, of sponges like cycon cypha, we have already discussed the chapter cycon cypha. In that animal, the collar cell, the flagellated cell, the conocytes possesses flagella, and the movements of flagella that maintains nutritive cum respiratory water current that brings nutrients as well as oxygen. In case of coelentrates, in case of Hydra, obelia, the endothelial lining, the lining of gastrodermal, and that lining, gastrodermal cells, the coelentron that possesses a ciliated lining which involves in the conduction, in the circulation of fluid. In case of male gametes, spermatozoa, as well as in case of plants, bryophytes, most plant, funaria, the anthrozoids, the male gametes which possesses flagella. Here, the beating of flagella maintains movements and locomotion. In case of some algae, the gametes are flagellated, the gametes are motile which possesses flagella. And these flagella in case of zoospores and gametes in case of algae, chara, and these flagella are involved in gametic fusion as well as their dispersal movements. Note down, competitive exam students, cilia and flagella are strictly absent. Note down, in case of blue-green algae, cyanobacteria. In case of rhodophyceae, red algae, no cilia, no flagella. In case of all flowering plants, angiosperms, no cilia, flagella. As well as in case of some animals like roundworms, nematodes, and in case of arthropods, all insect group without any cilia and flagella. These are some differences between cilia and flagella, very clear from the diagram. These cilia are very small structures, fine hair-like outgrowths, but this flagellum, it is an elongated thread-like structures. It means these are small-sized cell organelles, but this flagellum is elongated thread-like structures. This is fine, these cilia are fine hair-like outgrowths. Their number, much more as compared to the flagellum. These cilia are about 300 to 14,000. Note down, 300 to 14,000 per cell. But the number of flagellum very less, 1 to 8 per cell. These cilia, which are present all over the body surface, but this flagellum is present at one end of the body. Note down, these cilia which are fine hair-like outgrowths, but this flagellum is an elongated thread-like structures. These cilia are more in number, while the flagellum is generally 1 to 8, but these cilia are about 300 to 14,000 per cell. These cilia which are present all over the body surface of a cell. But this flagellum generally present at one end of the body. The cilia are of two types. One type is kinocilia and second type is stereocilia. These kinocilia which arise from the basal body, basal granules, and these are motile structures. But these stereocilia, which are simple projections, outgrowths, evacinations of cell membrane, means these stereocilia do not arise from the basal body, basal granules. These are simple outgrowths. But these kinocilia, which are motile structure, these stereocilia, non-motile, and these originate as evacuation, simple outgrowth without involvement of basal body, basal granules. But these kinocilia always arise from basal body, basal granules, and these are always motile, these are non-motile structures. These kinocilia are present in our trachea, respiratory tract, windpipe, and these stereocilia are present in genital tract of man, epididymis of male reproductive system, flagella. The surface of flagella, that surface may be smooth or it may possess fine hair-like outgrowths. This is flagellum, and on its outer surface, these fine hair-like outgrowth, these projections are named flemurs, or note down very important question for competitive exams, these are mastigonemes. It means in case of flagellum, the outer surface which may be smooth or it may possess fine hair-like outgrowths, and these outgrowths are flemurs or mastigonemes. Distribution okay. Small size cilia, elongated thread like, present all over the body surface, present at one end of the body. Cilia are of two types, kinocilia, stereocilia, and the surface of cilia always smooth, but the surface of flagellum may possesses fine hair-like projections, mastigonemes or flemurs. Now, the beating of cilia, another important question. The beating of cilia, they always beat in a coordination. Either all cilia beat simultaneously. It means they show synchronous or isochronous rhythm. But these flagella always beat independently without any coordination. It means the beating of cilia shows a coordination. Either all cilia, they beat simultaneously, that is isochronous or synchronous, or they may beat metachronous. Metachronic rhythm, that involves beating of cilia one after other, that is metachronous. One cilia beat after other. But these flagella always show independent movements. It means the coordination, in case of the beating of cilia show coordination, but the beating of flagella independently, without any coordination. Cilia. The beating of cilia always shows sweeping movements, or they show pendular movements, but not down. The beating of flagella, that is wavy movements, that is undulatory movement. The stroke of cilia, that is sweeping stroke, that is a roving stroke, that is a pendular stroke, but not down. The stroke of flagellum, that always produce a wave, undulation. Cilia, another important point. All these cilia may fuse to produce an undulating membrane. Note down, in case of some protozoan protociliates, these cilia fuse to produce a membrane, undulatory membrane. But these flagella never produce, they never fuse, they do not show any fusion, no undulation, no undulatory membrane. This is all about general introduction of cilia and flagella. Note down, these cell organelles which are involved in movements and locomotion, as well as these cell organelles are involved in conduction of gametes, dispersal of larvae. In case of our respiratory tract, these beating of cilia that involves in the removal of foreign bodies, dust particle. In our excretory system, the beating of cilia that removes waste products. In our reproductive tract, the beating of these cell organelles conducts gametes. As in case of female reproductive tract, fallopian tube, oviduct, conduction of ova by the beating of cilia. In case of male gametes, spermatozoa, that possesses a flagellum. The movements, locomotion carried by flagellum. So this is general introduction of cilia and flagella. In next lecture, tomorrow, we will discuss ultrastructure of